Bonjour, bonsoir tout le monde. Nous sommes bienvenue sur AG News Network en un nouveau épisode AG News Cap expliqué. AG News. Jeudi, on a porté pour nous une interview exceptionnelle avec Premye Minis et Minis Afè Etranjè Katar là. Après attaque Izrayèl sur teritwa Qatar, il parle clair sur sa lire les teworis d'État et il accuse Netanyahu a kraze toute chance Lapè. Koute, entendez premier partie dans l'interview.
The Israeli attack on Qatar yesterday, local time, 3:40 in the afternoon, has been roundly condemned, variously described as treacherous, shameful, an action that risks further inflaming this region. You described Israel's action as state terrorism. What do you make of the timing of the attack?
Well, look, first of all, Becky, I think that if we look at the pattern of Netanyahu's action since the war started after October 7th, it's been like in a very systematic way trying to undermine any chance of stability, any chance of peace, and any chance of retrieving his own hostages. And these attempts, like we witnessed them in many occasions throughout the negotiations. Now, when we reached to a very critical moment, that he claims that, according to his intelligence, which is something like very publicly known for everyone, that I was meeting with the leadership of Hamas. Hamas leadership are discussing, the negotiation team are discussing the proposal of President Trump during that time.
This was Monday, this week.
Actually, everything about the meeting is very well known for the Israelis and for the Americans. And this is nothing. It's not something that we are hiding, or as some marginal people are saying, harboring or whatever. We have to go back to the origins. Now, the attack that happened on Qatar territory, it's happened on our sovereignty. This is number one. Number two, Qatar is a mediator.
Journaliste la mandé Premye Minis lan, qui répond sou genyen sou attaque Izrayèl fait sous territoire Qatar. Gen pile moun qui dit Hamas ap caché nan Doha, est-ce que c'est vérité? Premye Minis nan répond, attaque Izrayèl la c'est yon zak terroriste d'État, li viole souveraineté pays. Hamas te gen bureau nan Doha avec connaissance États-Unis ak Israël depuis longtemps. Ça veut dire accusation Netanyahu yo pa gen aucune base. Ça c'est une déclaration forte qui pousse responsabilité yo sur Israël et puis mette Qatar comme un médiateur honnête, pas comme complice Hamas.
The Israeli Prime Minister here, I say to Qatar and to all nations who harbor terrorists, his words, not mine, you either expel them or bring them to justice, because if you don't, we will. Do you take that as a threat of further action here?
Well, we don't accept, first of all, such a threat coming from someone like Netanyahu, and he's calling about bring them to justice. He needs to be brought to justice. He's the one who's wanted to the ICC. That's number one. So I think that someone like him trying to lecture the world about the law, he's breaking every law. He broke every international law. He's starving people in Gaza. He's doing all these rogue actions in the entire region. What's next? What's next for him?
You've described him as a narcissist. What do you mean by that?
Well, I have no other explanation, because the act itself, I mean, the significance of this act, there is no human mind can just absorb it. You know, we were thinking that we are dealing with civilized people. That's the way we are dealing with others. And the action that he took, it's very, like, I cannot describe it, but it's a barbaric action.
Journaliste lan mande Premye Minis lan, Netanyahu fait konnen n'importe pays qui recevoir Hamas ap vin yon cible. Qui répond sou genyen pour menace ça? Premye Minis lan répond, Netanyahu c'est lui-même qui t'a doué mener devant la justice. li kraze loi internasyonal, li fait peuple Gaza a soufri, et zak li yo, se zak barbarik. Ça a mette Netanyahu comme pi gros menace au lieu Qatar. Premye Minis Qatar a changé narratif là pour montrer qui est-ce qui vraiment violé loi internationale.
He has said you either expel them, Hamas, or bring them to justice, because if you don't, we will. And we've talked about whether you see that as a threat. Where are the Hamas members right now, and will you shut down their offices? It's a question that has to be asked. And because I want to ask you about the future of these talks at this point.
This is actually right now we are reassessing everything about the whole process. We are in a very in a very detailed conversation with the United States government, and we need to understand what will be the way forward, because such a thing is unacceptable. And as I told you, it wasn't for us. It is attack on our sovereignty. It's attack on our nation, but it's an attack on the entire region. Today, the entire GCC region is at risk. GCC is one of the most important allies of the United States in the Middle East. The leaders around the world, everyone is calling us shocked with such an act. If Netanyahu believes that he will never be held accountable, and he continues such a statement by just throwing these statements and threatening countries, I don't know how the world want to deal with it. Our sovereignty, we will protect it, we will defend it to the end.
So the future of these talks at this point, not clear.
I mean, I don't have an answer for this, because really I see a meaningless talk. Right now what we are doing, and I think that I've been rethinking even about the entire process for the last few weeks, that Netanyahu was just wasting our time.
Journaliste a demandé Premier ministre là, qui jan attaque ça a pas affecté effort international qu'a fait pour négociation la paix dans Mwayen Oryan. Premier ministre répond, attaque ça a pas frappé seulement Qatar, mais li tout crasé tout espoir négociation la paix. Netanyahu gaspillé tant tout le monde. Li fait négociation yo sans sens. Mesdames et messieurs, message la clé. Pendant Netanyahu sous pouvoir, la paix pas jamais qu'a fait. Li fait échec la vie paraître comme responsabilité personnelle li.
Last question to you. There is a growing narrative in the region that Benjamin Netanyahu is the biggest threat to this region. Do you share that?
Right now, name for me, it's not in the region, name for me any other country in the world that bomb 7 different nations at the same time, bomb ships in the middle of the Mediterranean.
You're talking about the Gaza flotilla, of course. Israel hasn't taken responsibility
without being held accountable. What I mentioned yesterday, what Netanyahu is doing, he is leading his country as a rogue state, and this cannot be acceptable for us in the region. If we are talking about a Middle East, that peaceful Middle East, he's claiming that always that he's the one who is threatened. He's the one who is threatening every other nation. None of our nations has represented a threat for him, nor for his people. So why he claims that he's the man of peace while he's doing the opposite? Does the world believe that? I think we are in a very detrimental moment in this region. This gentleman is claiming that he has a message from God, from somewhere, that he will create a greater Israel, and there is a new Middle East that he is shaping. And this GCC became part of his manipulation today. This is a very dangerous precedent. I don't think it's acceptable for anyone. It's not acceptable for us, nor acceptable for any of other.
Journaliste lan mande Premye Minis lan, gen moun ki di aksyon Izrayèl yo ap destabilize tout rejyon. Ki sa ou pense sou sa? Premye Minis lan repon, ki lot peyi nan monde lan ki a bombardé 7 lot nasyon en même temps. Netanyahu se pi gros menace pour Mwayen Oryan. Li ap cherché yon projet personnel qui relè Grand Izrayèl, qui mettait toute région en danger. Mesdames, messieurs, ça c'est pi gros frappe là. Premye Minis Qatar lan montre vision Netanyahu comme un gros projet dangereux qui dépasse Gaza et qui capable de détourner avenir toute région. Pour nous finir, nous tendez sa Premye Minis Qatar lan dit, li mette Netanyahu comme pi gros obstacle pour la paix et la sécurité dans Moyen Orient. Déclaration ça yo a fait un pile bruit dans la communauté internationale là. Qui ça ou même pensé? Quittez opinion dans commentaire yo et puis pas oublier abonner pour plus d'analyse. On fait encore n'abdo merci pour écouter. Quant à moi-même, m'a prend rendez-vous avec vous pour l'autre épisode pour plus d'informations.